No.
Are y'all ready for our next person?
Yes.
You better get ready.
Yeah, because let me tell you about this one, okay? Killing it. Killing it around town.
Seriously,
okay?
we're retiring, and
Yeah.
they're gonna
Sorry.
do this show now
Yeah.
too, probably.
She's so funny. You're so funny. You're so sweet. You're so nice.
We love them.
We are also involved in a queer roast show coming soon. It's called Butch Slapped. You better be slap your butch ass, you know?
Oh, and they're on a really cool show.
Yeah.
It's called Queer of the Year, and it's at Funhouse on November 14th at 10 p.m.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll find out who the Queer of the Year is. All right, Jess, come on up here.
Jess Kapinaris.
Keep it going for your hosts, everybody. Thank you, Mac. Thank you, Aaliyah. You guys make me feel so welcomed and loved. Which is great because I was really scared after the weed. I was going to feel really scared and terrified of all of you. So this is a pleasant surprise. I've always been really nervous about doing something like this because I'm just generally like a pretty anxious person. I've been battling anxiety like my entire life. And I think that's because I was raised by an anxious mom. Anyone in here maybe have an anxious mother? Oh my gosh, who could believe it's most of you? That's insane. I can't believe we all learned to drive when we were 26. That's so weird. If any of you have figured out how to stop the phantom gasping from the passenger seat every time you accelerate, please let me know after the show. I need to know. Yeah, it's always been pretty hard, and especially because I suffer from like social anxiety, especially, and like as a comedian, it like really sucks because like I kind of hate being in the audience of comedy shows because I'm scared someone's gonna do like crowd work at me, you know. And I'm so scared of that interaction every time. I hate crowd work so much. I'm scared of being a victim of it. I'm so scared of it that I've never even stepped foot in like a hibachi grill before. Because that is the crowd work of the dining industry. Why would I want to go to any restaurant where the chef is expected to tell me jokes and throw things at me? Throw that shrimp on the grill. I don't even want to see the chef. Why would I? I've never asked for that in any dining experience. I was scared this was gonna happen.
Real.
Oh yeah. The hibachi grill. Oh my gosh. It's like, it just sucks because it's like, you know, everyone is always talking shit about improv, right? You know, everyone hates improv. Sorry, improvisers. I'm just saying, people hate improv. They do. Okay, but yet I'm constantly forced into situations where I'm forced to do non-consensual improv. It follows me everywhere, okay? And I was telling a friend that, and she was like, hey, Jess, isn't like every conversation ever kind of non-consensual improv?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, you're getting to the root of it, I think. I hate talking. I hate conversing. I don't hate like a conversation. I guess I just kind of hate the part where you like stew on what someone says and then you have to say stuff back that like is of equal depth or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it. It's, I know, just otherwise known as the basic mechanism behind conversation. So yeah, whatever. I'm supposed to have stuff to like help me with this, okay? Usually I'm on like antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication and Adderall. But I haven't had health insurance for like a long time. So I haven't been on those things for like quite some time. And I told another friend about this. I have so many friends. And she was like, so you've been like raw dogging life this whole time? Yeah, I guess I have been doing something kind of risky that could have impacts on my health and future for the rest of my life. Maybe I should think about it. Maybe I am doing something unsafe. No one likes an anti-raw dogging take. That's not. I think that's your guys' problem with it. I stand by it. Anyways. Okay, I fought it long enough. I'm gonna look at my phone. Usually, I feel like when I'm functioning the best, I am medicated, you know? Like, I'm on all those things. And, like, when I take Adderall, it kind of, like, suppresses my appetite. So, like, a lot of times I smoke weed to, like, gain the appetite back. And then I also, because it's a stimulant, I take melatonin to, like, go to sleep. And then, like, to do anything, but especially this, I take beta blockers to, like, keep my heart rate down. And my goal is to get 100% of my bodily functions just entirely lubricated by foreign substances. I want to be, like, a well-oiled machine, you know? I want to keep moving. There's kind of, like, a stigma behind these things, like, you know, like over-reliance and things like that, and I do understand that, but to me, it's kind of like these things were made, like created to help me with these problems I'm facing, and so I'm using them, and there was a punchline somewhere in there, I swear to God. Yeah, it's like, crazy, just remembered it. It's like I have a life chaperone, you know, like someone to hold my hand in the crosswalk and just guide me across the street sometimes. And I'll justify anything I do by any means, so that's why I write all my jokes. Okay, I'm gonna talk about high school now. I was thinking about this, we were talking about it outside, and when I was a freshman in high school, I started skipping school with my best friend, Kevin. We would skip school by using our parents' emails. In particular, I had my mom's email and password because she just, like, trusted me so much with it. And so I would email the school, I'd call myself in sick, and then I'd go into the sent folder, delete it. I'd, like, keep an eye out for any, like, response, but, like, usually there was none. And then my best friend, he was, like, the sole translator between his, like, household and, like, the school, so he was doing the same thing basically, but with like less steps, I guess. And then eventually the administration noticed that we were sick on the same day, like the same week, over like a course of several weeks. And so they called our parents, of course, and we got in so much trouble. And my mom was like heartbroken because she was like, I feel like I don't even know who you are anymore. She was like, you could have been out there doing anything. And I know she was probably picturing the worst, which my best friend was gay, so I don't know how much, like, what she really thought we could have been doing. What we were doing, and I never had the heart to tell her, is we would go to Subway, and we would pull our money, and we'd buy a sandwich, and we'd sit at a table, and we'd eat the sandwich, and we'd talk for hours about how we might get the college student, 19-year-old sandwich artist who just served us to fall in love with us. Because, like, maybe, who knows what we'd do, you know? Like, maybe eat the sandwich, like, really seductively, like, really slow. you know, like take it apart, rain the ingredients over our bodies, rub the mayo in like baby oil. But you know, whatever, like who knows? We talked about it for a long time, at like length, multiple times. It was like a bit, but where you just keep saying the same thing. You never add on to it. You just say the same lines like a script. And we would do that all the time. Or we'd steal from the Dollar Tree, but like not that often. That's just when we didn't have money. And we'd get hot Cheeto fries and Arizona iced teas. And then after we got caught, we had this like 2-week break that we were on that we were supposed to be an in-school suspension. Or at least I told my mom, I told my parents that it was the 2 weeks, but it was only 1 week. And then the entire second week when she dropped us off at school, we would go to the park and smoke weed. All right, that's like most of my weed stuff. I'm gonna talk about other stuff now. Let's see, what else can I tell you guys about? I wanted to try this. I feel like I had a queer awakening in the same way like a lot of people do, which is like really toxic homoerotic friendships. It's like I was involved, like in college, I was in this community service sorority. And then after I graduated, I started working. Well, I worked as a Starbucks barista, and then I worked at a theater. And so it was just like always this environment where I was kind of like bitterly supportive of like, oh, how nice, all my friends are kissing each other all the time. But but I was in like a relationship for a long time, but then I wasn't, and so then it was like, okay, let's try this out. And that's another thing that's crazy is I went so long without touching it that it turned off, and now I have to do this. Look at this.
Yeah. You got this. Yeah.
It like I feel like it evolved though into like kind of terrible relationships with straight women. I thank you so much for your support, by the way. For Leanne back there. You guys are killing me. Wow. All right. Yeah.
You're good.
I started with like straight women. I would develop this like really toxic relationship, kind of where like, especially if they had a husband or like a boyfriend of some sort, you know, like I would kind of like attract women who were being failed by men. And so then it's like, okay, all right, that's one thing. But I had this friend where she was my coworker. And she had like a real husband, right? And then she had a work husband, which like a work husband to me terrible, because like I can't imagine a worse place to have a husband. Except like maybe my home. But so okay, now there's 2 men emotionally neglecting her in her life. Great. Okay, another man who doesn't know her coffee order. All right, I do. I'll go to Starbucks for you. Like, there was one time where she got really sick at work, and she was throwing up in a trash can. And not just me, but, like, several other women were there to kind of, like, hold her hair back and, like, you know, support her. The work husband, interestingly enough, nowhere to be found. Could see him running full speed in the other direction. Just saying, like, you know, I could be a work wife, is all I'm saying. That's all I was saying. All right, I think that's all I have for you guys. Thank you.